And hello, everyone. Thank you so much for tuning in. It is Friday, April the 11th, 2025, and we are live right now. I have some awesome news to share with all of you. God is so good. God is an amazing God. I give God all the glory for all things, and I want to share it with you today. Now, I've been asking people to support me, help me out through all the times. And when the left, they kick me down, God's people always rise to the occasion to help me out. Every single time without fail, God is such an awesome God. Now, of course, his people help me, but I give God all the glory. God receives all the glory. And with that said, I'm always acknowledging people when they do help me. And I want to make sure it's clear that I'm acknowledging people that have blessed me throughout the years, and every time they do. When you come through, let me put up on the screen here. So, I've asked people to help me out with my website, to help me just keep my website. And I make sure that I only ask for the bare minimum. I don't ever go above and beyond when I ask for help. Just the bare minimum, just to keep it afloat. And you answered my prayers. Thank you so much. In the name of Jesus, give God all the glory. Lord Jesus, thank you so much. What an awesome God. When my producer and I were sitting there looking at it, and she's just like, there's just no way we can do this right now because of what Facebook has done to me. And actually even what YouTube is doing to me. Before I got my YouTube channel back, and then I got my YouTube channel back, and I started doing videos on there. I get 1,500 views, 2,000, 3,000 views on it. And I had to build it back up to get it monetized, my YouTube channel. Well, once I got it monetized, then all of the viewership that I was getting before it was monetized went down. It's like, oh, now this channel's monetized. Prevent people from seeing it as much as possible. Now, there are people that are still seeing it. It went from 1,500, 2,000 views per video at least, to down to maybe 500, 700 views. Won't even allow it to reach 1,000 for the most part. I'm like, go to my YouTube channel and look. You can tell it's a dramatic drop, and it happened right after it got monetized. So they do this to hurt people like me. But because of people like you, I'm able to keep my website up. And I told my producer, we're having a discussion, because we had to cut back on so many things. Just, some things were luxury. I had to cut them back, like some services that I was having, for downtime to watch some movies and stuff like that. So now I just have to go to the internet. And if I can find something on the internet, I watch it that way. We had to cut out some services. It is what it is. And I'm not complaining about it, just what we had to do. And then it got to our website. I said, but you know what? We have an avenue where people can always find us. We have multiple people that's been signing up for the free newsletter on my website. People go there every now and then, and they buy the t-shirts, and I don't really make that much from the t-shirts, maybe $5, if that.
Not very much at all.
It's not much at all. The purpose, my main reason for having the t-shirts on there is because I want them to be affordable, for one, and just the services just make everything so high. And we got tariffs. I'm kidding. This is even before the tariffs, all of that. I make it to where people purchase them, so hopefully that people will go and look at it, and they'll say, "Oh, I like the t-shirt. Where'd you get it?" And then hopefully they'll go buy one, word of mouth, and just having a visual of it. People walking around with them, like this one here. God got this. God got this. Right? This is the t-shirt that's on my website, uniteamericafirst.com. God got this. And truly, God got this. He truly does. So you can see we met the goal. Right before we came on, I'm talking to my producer, talking to Shannon, and I said, I was telling her that it's just like a different day. I'm not worried. God got this. God is in control. I went to my men's group this morning that's associated with my church, and we're just in there. And we had a really good meeting this morning. Just men, strong men of God getting together, and we're having conversation, discussion and stuff. And it just was really good. And just today, was like a really good day. And I hadn't even looked at this. And we got ready to come on, and she said, okay, we want to ask people for help still, right? And I said, yeah, we need to ask people for help because I didn't know. And she pulled up, she said, oh, Will, we reached it. We just reached it today.
Yeah.
God bless you. Thank you so much.
27 minutes ago, actually.
27 minutes ago.
Yeah, it says it was an anonymous giver, so thank you so much. But yesterday, Will, we had a giver that we didn't have an opportunity to thank, and that is Lillian. And Anne both contributed yesterday.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. We met our goal, so we're going to be able to keep our website up. Thank you so much.
Yes, thank you so much. And this really quick, one person at one point sent me a message saying, Will, you're not supposed to tell people when they help you. And I'm like, where does it say that? You mean to tell me that I can't publicly say thank you to God's people? I'm going to. Now, a lot of people, right? And a lot of people, they don't want them to know. And that's why they do anonymous. And that's perfectly fine. But if you bless me and I know your name, I'm at least say your first name, right? And no one knows. This is just for that individual. Most of the people that's watching right now, Ann, you don't know who Ann is. You can speculate. You might know an Ann in your neck of the woods, but you don't know who Ann is. Right? It can be any Ann. You know how many Anns are in the United States of America? Or Canada, for that matter? Because people in Canada watch. We have a young lady, beautiful young lady. She sent me that beautiful hat. Can you send me the hat, Shannon? She might be watching right now. The white one. Give me the white Trump hat up there. It's a beautiful hat. She sent me this beautiful hat. And amongst other things. Yep, right here. Look at this. I mean, it's so beautiful, and it's so white. I'm afraid to put it on because I want to keep it white. I want to keep it white.
It looks good on our shelf, though.
I keep it right there. I keep it right there in my studio. It's absolutely beautiful. Maybe I need to find me one so I can wear it because this is just like the red one I have, but it's white, and it's absolutely beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. So thank you so much for that. Okay. Thank you again for going to my givesendgo.com/website to keep the website up. So in the name of Jesus.
So will we have the hotline open? Let's go ahead and put the number up. People can give us a call.
Yes, there's a hotline, 319-527-3453. The phone line is open. Holla at me. Holla at me. Now, we're going to talk about the new false flag or the new false alarm that the Democrats are pushing. What do you think it is? Now, think about this. Just a couple weeks ago, all of the Democrats, all of the liberal media, every last one of them, oh, Pete Hegseth needs to go. There was a corrupt journalist inside the chat. They left out the corrupt part. But there was a journalist inside the chat with Pete Hegseth, and they were putting out war plans, strategy, all this highly classified, top secret detail. None of that was in there. But this is what they were saying. And this is what they were telling the American people. And they do this because they want to get everybody in America to jump on board and go, oh my goodness, this is terrible. They don't even believe and trust in our security. Really? They have no room to talk. Democrats have no room to talk when they are the main ones that allowed China to send a balloon all across the United States of America and just act like it wasn't even there. So they have no room to talk. And because it happened in the chat, I mean, really? And of course, Pete Hegseth, because we all seen the chat, there's no sensitive information in there at all. There was nothing in there that would cause people to be like, oh my goodness, they just, they put out coordinates, told them what time they're going to be there, where they're going to be at. None of that happened in the chat. I read the chat, but the Democrats, they exaggerate on everything. Remember? And they kept pushing it. Oh, Pete Hegseth needs to be fired. He needs to be fired. Needs to be fired. Needs to be fired. Well, guess what? Pete Hegseth was not fired, and he's not going to be fired, and he shouldn't be fired. You had Secretary Austin MIA for 2 weeks. Nothing happened there, and that was a lot worse because he didn't even report in. I mean, are you kidding me? Just 2 weeks vacation, just MIA, missing in action. You know, if you're in the military and you just disappear for 2 weeks, what do you think is going to happen? They'll court-martial you. They'll put you in jail because you just disappeared. You can't do that. So they try to equate that to the same thing. It's not. Not at all. Not at all. Which brings us to now. President Trump with these tariffs. And I'm calling them beautiful tariffs, like President Trump. Because President Trump being just a man. But you know what? And this is something I was having a discussion with the men in my men's group. Look, I don't put President Trump on a pedestal. I don't think that President Trump is more than anything other than a president and a human being, a man that's going to be president for the next 4 years, next 3.5 years now, almost 3.5 years. Slow it down, slow it down. But something really stood out to me. And I'm wondering, and the Democrats see this too. President Trump just demonstrated to the world how much power he actually has as one man. This is wild. Now, we've always had this, this impression or this thought or this acknowledgement of the president of the free world having power, the U.S. military, just everything. But it's never been demonstrated the way President Trump has done it. This dude, he just told the entire world, you either get on board with what I'm doing or you're in trouble. And guess what? The entire world, 70 plus countries. How many countries are there in America? I mean, in America, listen to me. How many countries are there on this planet? The one that's a sphere. Some people think it's flat, but that's a whole different subject. How many countries are on this planet? How many? Right? Can you Google that for me, Shannon? Because I don't even know. I know it's quite a few of them. Countries are there on the planet? How many countries? Because I just want to know that number. I'm pretty sure someone knows that right off the bat. I can actually probably go look in the chat and someone's already probably typing it in. The point is President Trump, he made it this 195? Okay, so about half the planet. So I guess the other half, we're not even doing trade with them, right? And there's some countries that are so small that don't even show up on the radar for the most part, other just being counted. But President Trump had the entire world talking about the tariffs. The entire world was talking about it. Everybody. Oh my goodness, look what he's doing. Look what he's doing. At least all of the top countries in the world. Every last one of them. China, Russia. Where's it at? Russia. All of them were talking about it. Every last one of them was talking about it. Well, I want to play, I got some clips I want to play for you. But my whole point in bringing this up, that President Trump being a single man, he just showed the entire world that he has control to control countries, to control the market, to control the outcome of different things. And because of that, because President Trump demonstrated the authority that he has, that we, the people in this country, we gave President Trump authority over the world, basically. And that's what we did. And the Democrats don't like it. And now, like I mentioned before, how they were trying to go after Pete Hegseth because they're trying to get rid of President Trump. They were going after Pete Hegseth, trying to get President Trump to fire him. That fell flat on his face. You notice they're not even really talking about it. Every now and then they might bring it up, thinking hopefully to spark something to see if there's something still there, right? They're still trying to do that, right? They're still trying to do that, but it's not going anywhere. So now their new one, President Trump was doing insider trading. How did anybody know that President Trump was going to change the tariffs? President Trump has been telling everybody that we are in the negotiation part of all of this. We're in the negotiation part of all of this. President Trump made it clear. So if the countries came to him and they wanted to make a difference, President Trump said, we'll negotiate. If they talk to us, they come and we can bring it down. President Trump didn't make it a secret. But the Democrats, they don't hear any of that. You know, all they're trying to do is bring up a new hoax. Hopefully that people will buy into it. All right. Wow, we have a caller. Let's go to the caller before I play this first clip. Because this first clip that I have for you, you're not going to want to look at it. But okay. I'm going to play it for you because you need to know.
Okay, we have Carla from Illinois.
Hello, Carla. Thank you so much for the call.
Hey, good to talk to you again.
Yes, thank you so much.
Yeah, you're talking about the tariff stuff right now. That's already old news. They've got the new news out. Now the new news is Tulsi Gabbard.
Tulsi Gabbard?
Yeah, the new news is Tulsi Gabbard.
Yeah, they're saying
and about her voting.
Yeah, they're saying that she claimed residence in Hawaii and Texas, and she actually lives in Hawaii, so they're calling it, what are they saying?
Basically voter fraud.
Yeah, voter fraud. But she's claimed residence in Texas as a diversion to protect herself. So they're saying it's really nothing.
They're fishing. They're fishing.
Yeah.
But like I said, that's already the tariff, the insider trading's already cleared. They started on Tulsi Gabbard now. So it's like we got new news, old news. And it's like, to me, it's like cooking spaghetti and you throw it to the wall to see if it'll stick. And that's exactly what the Democrats do. They throw it to the wall to see if it'll stick.
Oh, yeah. It's a wet noodle.
And the tariffs, I mean, you know, everybody wants to be mad at Trump for it. Why don't you be mad at the other countries? Because they're the ones that were charging us all this money.
Yeah,
on their
you know what? Yeah, they're trying to go after Tulsi Gabbard. The way they went after Pete Hegseth, there was nothing there. There was nothing there for them to go after Pete Hegseth, just like there's nothing here for them to go after Tulsi Gabbard, but they're trying to make something up. Just like right now, they're trying to go after President Trump and other Republicans and trying to say that they were doing insider trading. And none of that ever took place.
I get that. But they don't think about Nancy Pelosi and her husband, insider trading.
Nope.
I mean, come on. Let's go back and look at history. I mean, look at Adam Schiff.
Yep.
He was one of them that was right up there doing that insider trading.
Yep. And actually, I have a screenshot. You got Ilhan Omar. You got Mitch McConnell even, Nancy Pelosi, and Chuck Schumer. And I have their numbers up on the screen right now on how much money that they were making with all of this insider trading. But you know what? I think President Trump did this on purpose. I think President Trump put that tweet out there, if you want to call it a tweet. He put that post out there telling everyone, buy now. I think he did this to entrap them because, see, they're the ones who's been doing the insider trading. And now, if you notice, has Mitch McConnell said anything? Has Nancy Pelosi said anything? Has Chuck Schumer said anything? Have any of them that's been doing the insider trading, have they said anything? Nope.
Not one peep.
Nada.
That's what I said. It's like they're looking for everything that can stick. It's like spaghetti on the wall. It's like you throw it to see if it'll stick. Insider trading's not going to stick because they already know their side's the biggest ones that do it.
Yes.
I mean, I know Nancy Pelosi. She had all that insider information and went right home to her husband.
Yep.
And
actually, when they when they were trying to do the CHIPS Act, I forget exactly what it was called. The CHIPS Act deal. Yeah.
Taiwan.
Yep. And then Nancy Pelosi's husband bought, I think it was like $5 million in stocks into it before it went through. And then come to find, he made off with millions.
But she knew it was going to go through, so she went home and told him all about it.
Yep.
And he's a big trader.
Yep.
So he was going to do it.
Yep.
So if that ain't insider trading, I don't know what is.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, I don't have no money to put in stocks. I mean, I never have, never will. I was never
with you there.
In my mouth.
Yeah, exactly.
And there's no way I'd ever be a congressman or any kind of politician because I don't have the smarts to do it. I'm smart enough, but not smart enough to do that. You know
what I've done. I actually, when I used to when people used to donate to me on Cash App, every now and then I would take like $5 because on Cash App, or Cash App or Venmo, you can do either one of them. And actually, I did it in both. I would take like $5 and I would buy some of the stocks because they make it where it's really easy for you to do it. So you might want to just go look at it and do some research on it. Just go see what you can find.
The thing is, I'm on disability.
Uh-huh.
And then they start going in and start looking at that stuff. And
yeah, you're trying to make some extra money. Yeah, I hear you.
Yeah, you can't make extra money because then they come in and look at it as you're trying to pull one over on.
You're trying to get over.
And it's like, I just don't even bother anymore with trying to check into it. I've checked into the Bitcoin. I've checked into all that.
Yeah. Yeah, I hear you.
It's like it's a little hard to do that when the government's got their eye on you.
Yep. Well, we got new government and we're getting it fixed apparently. So, well, hey, Carla, I want to thank you so much for the call.
Oh, hey, no problem. Like I said, I love watching your show. Like I said, between you and Benny, I get a lot of good news.
Well, thank you. I greatly appreciate that.
And I've told my family members about you, and I keep telling them that I get on your podcast. This is my second time being on it. I said, I just enjoy listening to you because you know what you're talking about. You're up to date. But it's like I said, I seen it come on this morning, and it's like clicked on.
Yeah.
And I can't believe I was the first caller today.
Yep. You're the first caller. Well, thank you so much, and God bless you. Have a wonderful weekend.
Okay, God bless you guys too, and you guys have a wonderful day.
You too, Carla. Thank you.
Take care. Okay, so let me play this clip for you, and here it is. Adam Pencil Neck Schiff, as many refer to him as. Actually, President Trump called him watermelon head because it's like he got that long neck with a big head on top of it. I mean, I didn't know President Trump called him watermelon head, and was it what's her name from Arizona? She was running for Senate. I don't know why I can't remember her name right now. Carrie Lake. Thank you so much. She said it's an insult to watermelons. I agree. It's an insult to watermelons, President Trump. For sure. But the only reason why I want y'all to play this because y'all need to hear what the Democrats are all rallying behind right now. And again, I believe that President Trump did this on purpose because if they all start screaming that we need to stop insider trading, does this mean that all of them going to get on board? And when the Republicans go, okay, yeah, we agree with you. Let's pass a bill that Congress can no longer do insider trading. How long y'all think this is going to last? This probably won't even last over the weekend. I don't know. We shall see. But if the Republican came out and said, okay, we're going to do it. Next week, we're going to work on a bill right before Easter. We're going to work on a bill and we're going to push it through the House and the Senate to say no more insider trading for Congress, both the House and the Senate. How fast do you think these Democrats would drop it?
So today, Trump removed many of the tariffs he had imposed in this on again, off again, it must be Wednesday, tariffs are off again kind of policy. This has just wreaked havoc on the markets, of course. But there is another profound danger as well, and that is insider trading within the White House, within the administration.
What about the insider trading with inside of Congress? You nut job.
You may have seen early in the day Trump tweet this. Now, this is a good time to buy. So the question is, between that tweet and Donald Trump's announcement that he was reducing the tariffs on most other nations apart from China, the question is, who knew what the president was going to do? And did people around the president...
Hold on. I got to stop it really quick. And I'm going to take it back just to that part right there where he flashed. And it's not even a tweet. This is on True Social. Let me ask y'all a question. And you don't even have to be in the stock market to understand this. Because I understood it when I was a kid watching movies. When the stock market goes up, what do they tell you to do? And when the stock market goes down, what do they tell you to do? The stock market at this point, when President Trump put this True Social post out there, the stock market was down. Just like in all the movies, just like any other time throughout the history of the stock exchange, when the stock is down, buy. When it's up, 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 you sell, sell, sell. How many movies have you watched where they say that same thing over and over and over and over again? President Trump didn't make something new here. And these Democrats, they know this. But see, they're going on. People are not going to remember that when they were kids. They saw the movies when they were saying, when it's down, you buy. That's all that President Trump did. Because everyone saw the stock market was down. See, President Trump knew the stock market was going to come back up. This happens frequently. It's not the first time that this has happened. It's not reinventing the wheel. President Trump just told people to take advantage.
Yeah, this is a good time to buy. So the question is, between that tweet and Donald Trump's announcement that he was reducing the tariffs on most other nations apart from China, the question is, who knew what the president was going to do? And did people around the president trade stock knowing the incredible gyration the market was about to go through? Because look, this is a president who is trading in his own meme coin, even as he's president. His kids are trading in their own cryptocurrency. You've got people like Elon Musk who are doing their own conflicted self-dealing in the administration. In any administration this corrupt, it is more than necessary to ask, were people personally profiting from insider information while people's savings, their retirement accounts, were being torched? So we're writing to the White House to demand answers. Now, I am fully cognizant of the fact that the White House is probably the last place to be forthcoming about this or any other corruption in the administration.
Okay, I know people are tired of looking at him and listening to him. I'm going to get rid of him.
You know what? I really respect the fact that President Trump put that out there. I respect the fact, these people in Congress, when they knew about the chip deal and stuff like that, did they go out there and say, now's a good time to buy? No. It stayed inside. That's why it's called insider trading, right? They didn't share any information with the American people because they solely wanted to benefit on it. Trump is saying, hey, listen, now's a good time for you to benefit from the market going up and down. You might want to buy. I respect it. Thank you very much.
President Trump, he's been completely transparent. I mean, he really has been. And they don't know how to react to it. They really don't. All right, we got another caller.
Yep.
Hello, caller. What's your name and where you calling from?
Hey, this is Bill. I'm calling from Ohio.
Hey, Bill from Ohio. Thank you so much for the call, sir. What you think?
I wonder if the shift realizes that Trump's the only president in history that lost money.
And you know what? And even right now today, President Trump is not even taking a paycheck as president. He's donating it.
That's correct. Yeah.
I mean, but they go, well, he's doing it because he's making money other way because of the insider trading. He's making money for his billionaire buddies. I mean, when they make money and they swindle money, USAID and other ways, they look the other way and it's no problem. Because, see, and the reason why I believe that they're trying to blame President Trump for something that he's not doing because they are already doing it themselves.
That's correct. Yeah.
Right? So what do you think? What do you think is going to happen? Or let me ask you this. How soon do you think that the Democrats will drop all of this about the insider trading when it starts coming to the surface more and more about Nancy Pelosi and the rest of them? Because Nancy Pelosi, I've yet to see her say anything about it yet.
Well, I really can't say, but the fact is, these people have been evil for years.
Yes.
And I definitely agree with you when you say that they have a reprobate mind, because they do. That's for sure. But, they've been corrupt. Our government's been corrupt for a long time, and I'm glad that things are being revealed. And it would be nice to actually see some of those people actually be imprisoned.
One thing a lot of people have been discussing, and I've seen predominant high up people even say this, and I've been saying this even before I saw them saying it, that if President Trump and the Republicans, if they do not go after the people that have done all this corruption, it only means that these corrupt individuals will come back once again, and the corruption will be more intensified than ever before. So they're going to have to lock somebody up. Now, I mean, there's some low hanging fruit. I don't know why they haven't yet. Maybe they're getting all their ducks in a row. Maybe they're crossing all the T's, dotting the I's before they actually do it, or maybe they're going to do it all at the same time so that they all think that they're free, right? Like nothing's going to happen to them, and then boom, all at the same time. Maybe that would be such a wonderful thing to see.
Yeah, well, you're absolutely right. They'd have to have all the evidence to make sure that it's solid.
Yes.
So nobody can complain. So.
Well, they're going to complain regardless. I mean, they're going to complain. They could see Fauci or, Mayorkas. They can see them picture, video, not AI generated, 100% authentic evidence, and they will still complain. So it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter what they have. It can be completely concrete evidence. They'll know it's true, and they'll still reject it.
Yeah, well, yeah, the Dems seem to be able to tell the truth. It's like the Bible says, what's wrong is now right, and what's right is now wrong. So, yeah, it's amazing how these people are. I've tried to talk to people and convince them. Even on Facebook the other day, there was a group in there just taking and just ripping Trump apart. And I asked, is there any Christians on here? Finally, somebody answers back and says, well, yeah, there's maybe all Christians. And I go, well, you do know that God's the one that sets up the leaders, and we're supposed to pray for them.
Yep. Even when we don't agree with the leaders. Yep, 100%.
Right. Romans chapter 13. So what happens is one of them comes back and says, Biden was Solomon, and Trump is Herod. And I think,
wow. Oh. Wow.
You just can't get through to these people.
You really can't.
Wow.
Tell me something. What was the main thing that they were complaining about with Trump? Was there any truth to it, what they were saying?
No. They just seem to go by these fake news, MSNBC News and CNN and stuff like that. They don't. I've actually tried to convince them to watch like you or back when Bongino. I said, another one I like is Brandon House, but they won't watch a conservative news media.
Yeah.
So, what can you do?
Yeah, it's like water on a witch, right? Like it's like they're just gonna melt away with the truth. So they're like, I have to stay away from it. It's gonna kill me. It's so crazy. Yep. It's so crazy listening to those people.
Yes, it is. Where I live, I actually go out and interview during the summer and stuff like that. And I go out in the country and I talk to people. And it's amazing. I ran into a few Democrats that actually switched. They said they'd never vote Democrat again. So it's hard for me to actually find one to talk to around where I'm at. and you're right.
There's two ways I'm looking at that. I mean, it could be lucky you. Right? That's one way I'm looking at it. Good for you, lucky you. And another one is like, talking to liberals, and I think you would agree, talking to liberals can result to a very interesting conversation. Right?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yep. They can result to an interesting conversation. So, well, hey, Bill, thank you so much for the call. Have a wonderful weekend.
Well, you too. And God bless you guys.
God bless you. All right. Take care.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I have another one I want to share with everybody. And this, of course, again, we're talking about how the Democrats have a new false flag and they're trying to talk about insider trading. And again, President Trump, he's playing 4D chess while the Democrats are playing checkers. He's playing not 4D chess, he's playing 5D chess now. I mean, really, President Trump is playing 5D chess. And again, I think President Trump just kind of put it out there and he knew that they were going to react. I don't think President Trump he does stuff just to be doing it. I've never known since I've been supporting President Trump, Trump just doesn't do stuff just to be doing it. He'll do stuff and learn from it. He'll do something, gather the data and see what happens. Just like him putting out that True Social post. Buy now and look how they're reacting. President Trump, he had to know that they were going to do something. Watch this.
You said that what happened yesterday was beautiful with the stock market going up. It was clearly a reaction to what President Trump decided to do. Were you in the room? Were you a voice advocating for this pause? And just in a straightforward way, were you in the room with the president when he made this decision?
See, now she's trying to get him like, oh, insider trading. Were you in the room when he made this decision? Insider trading. Did you make money from all of this? I'm telling y'all right now, this is them trying to create something that's not there. President Trump, I'm telling y'all, he's setting them up.
So that's the wrong question to ask. Was I part of the process?
Were you in the room?
Hang on.
Were you in the room?
You don't understand how this works. You don't have to be in the room to.
Well, with President Trump, actually, you often do.
Hang on. I never talk about. And I went to prison for this. I never talk about.
She's the Advocate's news reporter, if you want to call her a news reporter, but she's the Advocate. She's not a journalist at all.
What happens in there? What happens in the Oval?
I'm not asking what was said, sir. I'm asking, were you there or were you not?
Let me tell you about the process, okay? The process is we've got Scott Bessing, Howard Lutnick, Jamison Greer, Kevin Hassett, J.D. Vance, myself, Steve Marin at the CEA. We all discuss all these things, and we provide advice to the president, and he ultimately makes the decision.
And she doesn't care. Were you in the room? Were you making the insider trading? Did you get insider trading information? Did you know? Did you know? All that they do is advise President Trump. They give him information, and President Trump, he reacts on it. He gets to make the decision on what he's going to do about it. That's all that's happening. Same thing like with Elon Musk. All of these radical liberals out there right now, they're all kicking and screaming, saying, oh my goodness, he's doing insider trading. Or with Elon Musk, with Elon Musk, he's firing people. He's taking away your Social Security. All of these lies. Elon Musk, all he can do is advise President Trump his findings. That's all he can do. And then President Trump, with his cabinet, they make a decision on what they're going to do after that, after he's been advised. That's it. But Democrats, they can't grasp that. They can't grasp it. They don't want that to be the truth. They want it to be sinister, kind of like the things that they do. Well, here's Elizabeth Warren. Here's another one, making up something, trying to put it out there that President Trump, because of the tariffs, he's trying to destroy the economy, destroy America. The same tiring lies. When are they going to figure out that no one is buying their lies?
Donald Trump is trashing our economy. First, Donald Trump imposed across-the-board tariffs. Then, just a few hours ago, he dropped those tariffs to 10% on everyone and moved the tariffs up to 125% on China, up from 105% yesterday. Now, there's confusion, there's chaos. No one knows what the tariffs will be tomorrow or the next day or next week or next month. But here's what we do know. Are prices still going up? Yes. Are businesses still wary about investing? Yes. Are millions of working people still worried about their jobs and millions of small businesses still worried about closing shop? Yes. And right before Donald Trump declared.
So what happened when all of them, the Democrats, were shutting down all of these mom and pop businesses? They were making sure that the big box stores stayed open, but all of these small businesses, they were quick to shut them down. Really? She has her nerve. President Trump understands. The small business in this country is the backbone of the American people. That's the backbone of this country. Really, it's the small business. They don't like small business. And they constantly talk about, well, we need to go after the billionaires in these corporate offices, the corporate businesses. But yet she pulls a lot of money from them, too. She's taking it all in. When they support her campaign, she doesn't have any problems with them. She's one of the biggest hypocrites. And she's not Indian.
That some of his tariffs were. He sent out a message to his billionaire buddies. He posted, "This is a great time to buy," in all caps. Was that market manipulation? Was it corruption in plain sight? We need an independent investigation into market manipulation because Americans need to know whether President Trump or anyone in his administration manipulated the market to benefit their donors, all while they are working for the American people and while small businesses and those working families are paying a price.
Okay, you can get off the screen. I told y'all, here's the new false flag. Let's make it up. This is what we want people to believe. Knowing good and well that's not the case. President Trump wouldn't make it that easy for him. I'm telling y'all right now, without me being in the room with Trump, he did this to get them to expose themselves, to get them to scream, kick and scream about insider trading. Let's get Nancy Pelosi on the floor. Until you get Nancy Pelosi on the floor saying we need to stop insider trading, shut up. Every last one of you, Democrats, shut up. Because you have nothing to say until you say something about Nancy Pelosi. Chuck Schumer. Nothing. Shut up. All right, we got a phone call. Let's go to it. Dave from, was it?
West Virginia.
From West Virginia. Hey, Dave, thank you so much for the call.
Hi, Will. Hi, Shannon.
Hello.
Hello.
Hey, I know what you're talking about on the upper levels of the government and all this and all the things that are going on that are absolutely crazy. But I just a few days ago, I found out that a lot of this stuff has filtered down even to local levels, like a city council.
Yep.
These people cannot seem to talk about anything and come to a mutually acceptable agreement. They just cannot seem to work together. It would be like if say you and Shannon could never disagree on anything, then, well, most likely things would falter.
Exactly.
And the same thing is going on, I mean, from top to bottom.
Well, I think a lot of it has to do with the billionaires that they refuse to say their names that's helping the Democrats out. Local DAs, local politicians. There's one particular billionaire that has been funding a lot of it. Right? They don't ever want to talk about that. And I think that's how it's starting to trickle down. And it's been trickling down for years. So you're absolutely right.
Oh, absolutely it is. And out of in our city council, there was due to a failure to come to some kind of mutual acceptable agreement. All but two walked out. And but there is one that I actually talked to that gets things done.
Mm-hmm.
One. Okay. Now, the way I see it is these people. I don't really know what's wrong with the left. Why they don't want to work with the with Republicans.
I can tell you why. I can tell you why. I can tell you why. Imagine, do you think demonic demons from the pits of hell want to work with angels associated with Jesus?
Absolutely not.
They don't. It's the same thing here. And I'm not saying that, well, yes, I am, because they're demonic Democrats. That's the reason why. This is a spiritual battle. I mean, think about it. The Democrats, everything that they support, they lie. They have no problems lying. They support everything that is wicked under the sun. Everything. There's not a single thing that they do not support. There's not. And for the life of me, I keep thinking, is there anything? No. But that's the reason why they don't want to work with President Trump. And you know what? It would come to their benefit to say, let's drop all of this stuff that we've been trying to push, this old crazy agenda, and let's just work with President Trump. And then they can turn around and lie like they normally do and say, oh, look what we did. But they can't even bring themselves to do that because they don't want to have this perception at all that they slightly might want to agree with President Trump. They can't do that. It's not in them.
Evidently not. I still think that the government should be working for we the people
100.
instead of the other way around.
Yes.
And even though it's local level, what I'm going to do is I'm going to show up at the next city council meeting, and I am going to talk to the people on the city council and say, hey, look, y'all have to work together. You just can't bicker and not come to some kind of an agreement. You just can't walk out.
Well,
I mean, that's ridiculous.
See,
it's
Dave,
childish.
Dave, you know what your problem is?
Yes, common sense.
You have common sense.
Yeah. I mean, these Democrats literally
That
do
is
not
a
want to work
problem.
with
Yeah, that
anybody.
is a problem, sir. You
Yeah.
have common sense. You're talking rational here, right? We should, and you're absolutely right. We should be able to have conversations with one another and have disagreements about it, but come to some kind of agreement. But the left, you can't do that. And the prime example, when I go out and I try to have conversations with liberals just anywhere, I truly want to have a conversation with them, just a civil conversation, and not yell at each other and call each other names. Just have a conversation and show why we disagree with one another. They can't do that. You either agree with them or nothing else. That's it. They say it's my way, our way, or the highway.
Or it's time to insult you.
Or it's time to insult you because you're making me angry, and now you're inciting violence because I want to harm you. That's what it boils down to. But Dave, you're absolutely right.
Yes.
They should be able to have conversation with each other, but I think we're too divided in the country.
I have one question for you,
Yes,
Will.
sir.
I noticed you're not wearing your Uncle Tom shirt.
That was yesterday.
Yes, I noticed you're not wearing your Uncle Tom shirt.
Uh-huh.
And I thought maybe I should call him Uncle Will.
I do. I have some sisters. I have 2 sisters, and I am an uncle, so it would be appropriate. I am an uncle. Yep. So, but either way. Well, Dave, thank you so much for the awesome call. Have a wonderful, blessed weekend.
Thanks, Dave.
Well, you too, and thank you for taking the call.
Absolutely.
I just had to get that out.
That's awesome. Thank you.
So, have a blessed weekend.
You too. Take care. You know what? That's part of the reason why I open up the phone lines. And I know that there are people that disagree with me that tune in to listen to Will Johnson, because I've seen people take my videos of me saying things and they'll put them other places and do commentary on it. Oh, listen to what he said. Listen to what this guy said. And I'm like, why don't you call in? And you know what? When I see people getting behind the keyboard and they'll type stuff and they kind of like at me, oh, you're this, you're that. And some of them are really colorful. And I'll go back and forth with them. And I try to go back and forth with them as quick as possible, because like my mods and my producer, when they see them, they kind of get chopped. But before that happens, I will ask them, look, why don't we take it from the keyboard and won't you come join me? And we'll have the discussion in the live setting, like this. Or you can even call me. I mean, they can call me right now, but for some reason, they don't want to call me. They don't want to come on and do a live interview with me. And it's completely open. And for people that's been watching me, I'm not going to curse them out. I'll tell them I disagree about stuff. But see, that's just it. Democrats, they want to be heard, and only them, and they believe that only they should be heard. That's why even today on Facebook, they're still shadow banning me. They're still blocking people from seeing my content. Facebook, I'm paying for Facebook support. They're still not helping me. They're not providing me the support. YouTube, again, after my YouTube channel got monetized, they stopped allowing people to get my notifications from my YouTube channel. And this is typical, right? This is typical. We see this happen quite often. because they don't want someone like Will Johnson being able to make a living doing what I'm doing. One person go, why don't you get a real job? Who gets to determine what a real job is? So if I go out and I start up a dentist, does that mean now I got a real job because I'm, cleaning teeth? How come what I'm doing can't be a real job? How come it can't be? Why do liberals always get to dictate what can be, right? They want to dictate what a man can be, or even a woman for that case. They want to dictate how I'm supposed to live, how I'm supposed to think. I even have liberals send me messages and tell me to cut my hair, as if my hair has anything to do with anything. It's on my head. Why do you care what's on my head? Right? Why do you care what's on my head? But they do. They find a need to tell people how they should believe, how they should think, what they should eat, what vehicles they should purchase. Like right now, they tell you if you have a Tesla, you need to sell it and you need to go buy another type of vehicle. In this case, the Democrats are completely fine with you going buying a gas guzzler, as long as it's not a Tesla. And they're the main ones talking about going green. And you know what? A lot of Republicans, we were like, I like my gas vehicle. Right? Because, some of them have the motors, a 350, a 450, and I don't know the different motor sizes. I never really kept up with any of that, but they can make them sound really loud. Blah, 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 right? You know what I'm talking about? Like motorcycle too. I like my gas guzzling vehicles. But now they're okay with you going to get one because you're not buying a Tesla. You can sell that and go get a gas guzzler all day. You can go get a gas guzzler all day long. Long as it's not a Tesla. See, they're a bunch of hypocrites. They're only upset with Elon Musk now because they've been told to be upset with Elon Musk. They're buying all of the lies that they've been told. They're buying into all of the lies. And we see it happen all the time. All right, let me share another one with you. And here's another nut job just to prove the point of what I've been talking about. How the Democrats, they have a new false flag. Listen.
So I have questions about the tariff announcements today. Who benefited and who made money? And this should matter to you too, because this could be an enormous scam. What we know is that about 9:30 today, Trump posts on social media that people should buy. It's a good time to buy. And then 3 hours later, guess what? He announces that there's going to be a 90-day suspension of many of the tariffs. Predictably, the market, which had been crashing, shoots up. And anyone who made investments early today likely made a lot of money. And so the question is, who close to Trump knew that he was going to suspend the tariffs?
I mean,
that's why.
I mean, do y'all understand where I'm getting at?
That's why Casey was trying to press Peter Navarro
to
say, were you in the room?
Yeah.
So then they could say, well, he knew and he was doing insider trading he did anything with the stock market between that point and when Trump did it. It's all, they're so conniving, right? Instead of doing things productive for the American people, their whole thing is, how do we get Trump? That's literally what they're running on right now.
Yep. That's exactly what they're running on. That's all that they're running on. And one of the main reasons why they're saying this is because that's what they do. That's what the Democrats do. They're like, how if they were in this position, they would have done it. And I'm going on a limb here, and I bet you there's probably saying, we could have got Joe Biden to do this for us. We could have got Joe Biden to do this. But see, Joe Biden, he didn't have the stamina to do anything. So they couldn't do it. President Trump just demonstrated to the world once again that him being a single man controls the world. How many of you ever seen this? There's actually been book series on it, and they've actually made movies on it. It's called Dune, right? Dune, Dune, with Paul Muad'Dib. Right? Have y'all seen this movie? One of the key things that stuck out to me in that movie, and I watched the original one a long time ago because I didn't even know. I was a kid when I first watched it. I had no idea, and I just started watching it, and I was like, oh, wow, this is interesting because it started off really slow, and I'm like, what in the world am I watching? But I couldn't get away. I couldn't pull myself away from it. If you go back and watch the original one now, it's like government cheese to the fullest. But anyways, back then I was like, I could not pull myself away from it. Many of you know what I'm talking about. I think it's kind of like a man's movie, right? There's some women that watch it, but for the most part, it's a man's movie. And I'm sitting there watching this movie. But the thing that stuck out to me is the spice, right? They talk about the spice and the worms. But they said, he who controls the resources controls the universe. In this case, he who controls the resources controls the world. Shannon, who controls the resources on this planet right now? And I'm talking about man, okay? Jesus Christ get all the glory. Jesus Christ is the Lord and Savior of all creation, okay? I'm talking about as far as us as man on the planet, while we're walking around on here, who's controlling the resources? Trump. And the Democrats see this. Everybody sees this. He's controlling it. I pray that President Trump's security detail is increased because the Democrats, they're livid. They're extra angry. I pray that his security details increase because they don't know how to stop Trump. Look at everything that they try to do to him. Look at everything they try to do to him. Well, hey, we're just over 2 minutes left now. Can I get y'all to go to my website, uniteamericafirst.com, and sign up for that free newsletter? And because of your support and your blessings, my website is going to be there. Thank you, Jesus. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. UniteAmericaFirst.com. UniteAmericaFirst.com. Think about that. UniteAmericaFirst.com. That's all day President Trump, right? Because he's uniting America first. That's his objective. Because we have to unite our country first, even though it's divided. And that's been my objective ever since I first started doing my website. And some people, when I first started doing it, and they go, when I talk about some of the wicked things that the left is doing, and they go, Will Johnson, you're not being real uniting by not including all of this wokeism. And I said, I didn't start my website to unite people because they had dreadlocks. I don't care about that. If we're Americans, then we're Americans. Your personal life, I don't need to know. I used to say that all the time. And I know what's happening is that you cannot unite with people that want to destroy this country. You can't do it. I can say it all day long, right? I can say it all day long, but you can't do it because they don't want this country to be united, especially under President Trump. Now, if they can get the country to unite under all of the evil, wicked things that they're doing, all of the demonic stuff that they're doing, they'll be perfectly fine with it. Can you go back and clear that on the website, Shannon? There's a pop-up there. That's, you know what? That's ads from like Google and stuff, but they dwindled my ads on there. I get pennies. I mean, little to nothing. So my producer, she's actually been putting articles on there too. So we plan on doing more. But the main reason why I want you to go there, other than supporting me, do the newsletter. And also, if you go to uniteamericafirst.com/donate, I still need your help. To do operation things, other things. uniteamericafirst.com/donate. Can you go to the page real quick, Shannon? There's different ways you can support me. There's monthly ways. People do it all the time, which you can see the different ones at the top. Or single, right? You know, the Cash App and PayPal, etc. If you want to just do one time, you can. Or, and I need to go to I need to go down to my mailbox right now. Someone sent me something in the mailbox. So if you want to send me something, there's my physical address right there. And I keep every letter. I got a binder, every letter, even the envelope. I keep them all in my binder for out the years. From the very first one, I said, I'm going to keep every one of these. How many people have done that? I don't know, but I have. So when you send me something in the mail, I keep it. I cherish it because someone believed in me and what I was doing. All right, everybody, that is it for me. God bless you. Thank you so much for tuning in. Have a safe, wonderful weekend. I will be out. Oh, it's over there. I will be out tomorrow. You want to hand it to me really quick? I will be out tomorrow with my beautiful, beautiful new megaphone. It's not a megaphone. It's a megaphone. And I'm going to be ready to rock and roll. Let me see. Let me turn up. I'm going to be, turn on. I'm going to be ready to rock and roll. Let's go. Who's your president? Trump. I should have my voice a lot better tomorrow. I'm like 98%. So God bless you all. I might go live on, you know what? I'm going to go live on YouTube and Rumble tomorrow. So please, if you're not on my YouTube channel, my Rumble channel, you got to get there. I'm going to be live tomorrow on my YouTube channel and Rumble channel. God bless everybody. You go to UnitedAmericaFirst.com. You can find me there. Click on Connect with Will. Did you get that? Go to UnitedAmericaFirst.com. You can click on Connect with Will, and you'll find my YouTube channel and my Rumble channel. God bless. Have a wonderful weekend.